Hello and welcome to the 4th annual TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards. I'm Carol Meekins. Usually we're coming to you from a stage in an elegant ballroom filled with award winners, their families and friends, but unfortunately COVID-19 has made that impossible this year. But like many of our winners tonight, we are persevering through the pandemic to give our honorees the recognition they deserve. Now, I might be by myself in the studio, but as you can see, I am not alone, all because of the magic of technology. Our winners are actually joining us remotely. Well, we all know people who help others even when they have a lot on their plate. But how often are those people 17 years old? This year's Inspiring Youth winner has been giving back to our community before he hit high school. If he's not strumming his guitar for hospital patients or producing documentaries to help refugees, he's working with Milwaukee Public School students to fight the city's growing opioid crisis.
Neil seems like his mind is always churning on ways that he can, in some way, assist to improve others' lives.
Just a really solid kid.
As Mahatma Gandhi said, in a gentle way, people can shake the world. And that's who he is. He does it in a gentle way.
I'll be completely transparent. I was not always a huge fan of community service, and so when I was younger, I saw volunteering as essentially working hard, not really gaining anything from it. Summer before my freshman year, I started volunteering at Crescent Learning Center, which is this nonprofit that provides care to children of refugees. Immediately, I redacted my stance on volunteering. There is no question that I was completely wrong. I was absolutely gaining something, and that something was experience and, frankly, a lot of fun. It was just a really good time spending time with those kids. One of the most important takeaways, though, was I was exposed to the Milwaukee that lies beyond my suburban home. So I started making a documentary called Crescent of Hope, in which I explored Milwaukee's role in the refugee crisis, as well as Crescent Learning Center and what they've done. This was really where I started loving community service and where I started to understand that really beneficial service is mutually rewarding. I began to essentially open my eyes to what Milwaukee is truly like. We, the average citizen in Milwaukee, are more likely to die of an opioid overdose than a car accident. We as citizens, and especially as children, we really don't understand how commonplace these terrible, terrible drugs are. Heroin is nearly chemically identical to legal opioids, and the implication of that is simply horrible. And from there, my immediate goal was, how can we prevent more deaths? So I started the Opioid Epidemic Awareness Campaign. The idea is, if we all know what's going on, if we all understand the danger of opioid addiction, we can make a positive change through prevention. Throughout the following year, I went into middle and high schools in Milwaukee and presented on pretty much the entirety of the opioid epidemic. What can we, as kids in Milwaukee, do to make a change?
We now have our next speaker, Neil Dogra. Neil, I'll turn it over to you.
This opioid crisis has really shaped so much of what I want to do with my life. I've talked to politicians, community doctors, I've talked to researchers. A lot of people want to see a change. I just hope that we can transfer that momentum to the common citizen and make sure that everybody in Milwaukee wants to see that change.
I think you'll make a big difference, and I think Commissioner Kowalik is probably going to ask for your resume later.
I love Neil. I just love him. I think he is a wonderful human being, and I think he is making a difference at our school, in our community, and I really think he's going to rock it out in the world.
He just sees a problem and tries to go out and solve it and make the world a better place.
Neil does it because it's genuine. He really feels a calling to help others.
I'm just most proud that I was able to take what I learned in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and use it to help others and better my community.